This is Angela Fagg reporting from Jaycee Park. They are signing a petition here to save the park, and it just so happens that we also rolled up on a festival that is going on here. So what we are going to do is we are going to go down and talk to the people that are doing the petition to save this park and go check some stuff out at the plant festival they're having here. My name is Angela Fagg with Messengers of Truth, and we're down here at Jaycee Park in Cape Coral, Florida, to talk to Kathy and Tony about saving the park here and also about the Cape Coral City Council giving themselves a pay raise. And here's Kathy.
I'm Kathy, and I live on Beach Parkway. And the reason I live here is because as we narrowed down where we wanted to live in Cape Coral, we kept coming back to the park. And every morning I walk this park. And I love this park. And it's just a natural, beautiful park that does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's tranquil. When you get here, it calms you down. You lose the stress of life. And it's just a beautiful place to be. And most of the people around here don't want any changes to it. We don't want a bar where the kids play. We don't want a bistro. We don't want food trucks. We don't want our beautiful trees that have held our ground through Irma, Idalia, and Ian to be torn out. We just want it left alone. And as far as the stipend goes, the City Council, our own charter for Cape Coral, states that if the City Council wants a raise, they have to put it to the voters. They did not. The city attorney advised them that they could go around the back door and call it a stipend, and they could go by the voters. So the two petitions that we have that we're getting signed are to save Jaycee Park as a natural park and to give back to the voter the stipend that they illegally took from us. Thank you.
Very good, Kathy.
Very good. Go ahead, Tony. No problem.
Hi, my name is Tony, and I am a resident in the Cornwallis neighborhood. Been here since 2009, and one of the reasons I moved to Cape Coral because it was a peaceful, tranquil place in it, and we discovered this park right away, just like Kathy was saying, how nice it is over here. And then it was to my surprise that they want to totally change and redevelop it, and I just couldn't understand why. So that's how I ended up joining a movement that they have to save Jaycee Park and to keep it as it is. You know, as you look behind me, you see these beautiful, tall Australian pine trees, and a lot of them are, you know, they label them invasive, but some other people call them non-native. I like to stick with that. The trees were brought here in the mid to late 1800s, and they did serve a purpose at that time, which was like a wind block for the agriculture and to prevent shoreline erosion. As you can see, they're doing just that here right now. You know, as Kathy was saying, they survived several hurricanes. If you raise the camera and look, you can see how healthy they are. They're green, they're standing there strong, and the droppings here, which they complain about, are actually providing a natural mulch. And right now, as you look around and the benches, the park benches, people are sitting in the shade, and they're very comfortable. And that's one of the main reasons they come to this park. They come here because it's a free park, and they get to pretty much do what they like. And getting back to the trees, the other thing I'd like to mention, they really do protect the shoreline, and the reason being, they're like one full stand. They stand together like a little army. The roots are interwoven together, and therefore it gives them strength to hold their ground and to prevent all of the shoreline from erosion when there might be, say, like a storm surge or what have you. And you know, it makes it easy for people to walk back and forth, and so that's why we love these trees. And you know, I was here on a very windy day. The wind might have been blowing 35 to 45 miles an hour, and the trees were barely moving. You know, they have like kind of like a whistling, a small whistling, a nice sound to them, and you know, they just make the park look beautiful. When you're driving over the Cape Coral Bridge, you can see these beautiful trees standing the way that they are. That's the first thing that catches your eye, and then when you're driving into the park, this is what you see. But the city plan is to clear cut all these trees. They want to put a concrete boardwalk, and then they're going to put maybe some 10, 15 foot palm trees in there, maybe some other variety. Maybe they'll probably even put in some invasive trees, because you know what, people don't realize, probably about 25 of the palm trees that we actually have in Florida are invasive. So, and then there's other invasive trees and fruit trees, and nobody's really complaining about them. And then there's these so-called invasive Florida pines. They're all over, the city, but they're not really going after them yet. They're only singling out, this is the reason, so they can just take over this park, put their bar in, their bistro food court with the 5 permanent food trucks. Now, we're not anti-food truck. We the citizens, like having a food truck come when they show up at the festivals here. The citizens that live here in this well-established 55-plus community, they love the way, this park is, because, if they have a festival or a gathering and a food truck shows up, then they can go and enjoy it. And the other thing about this well-established neighborhood, and there's like 49 of associations here, and these associations, these condos kind of grew with this park together. There's kind of like a partnership, and in the morning time they come out. These seniors are very active, in the city council and the mayor and some others try to portray these, like these people like we're decrepit or something. Like all we want to do is just sit in the house. No, these people out there doing yoga. They're walking their dogs. They're jogging in the morning. They're very active. They do aerobics here. There's a group that does aerobics. There's a 70-plus group. The dance group that is called, what are they called? The
Calendar Girls.
The Calendar Girls. That's it. The Calendar Girls.
Training.
They do their training. And, if you come here early in the morning, you're going to see all these seniors out there really enjoying. And there's different groups that come through different parts of the day. There's like a widow group that comes here, widowers that lost their spouses, and they have like a meeting. I've met veterans from all over the country and different foreign wars that were. And also a lot of first responders, police, fire, paramedics come here and they enjoy the park. And some of them have PTSD, and I've had conversations. I'm a retired first responder myself from a large, busy city. And, this kind of gives you, kind of distresses you in that. Another beauty, as the day progresses, too, and the week progresses, you get other groups in there. You get like... they have, as you can see, we have pavilions here, and they're large pavilions, and people come here and they celebrate birthday parties. If you look over to the left, they're setting up for a wedding party here, and you have baby showers, and we also have Sweet 16 parties here, and people, they bring their own stuff. It's not everybody can afford all the really expensive restaurants to go and have.
It's free to come here, right?
Yes, it's free to come here. You do your own thing.
You have to buy the shelter.
And we get the citizens.
The shelter, the shelter you have to buy.
Right.
You rent it out. That's any other normal.
It's very minimal. It's like the permit is what, $25 or $50, very minimal.
I'll look that up, and we'll slide it into the video.
Yes, and so the people come here, they set up, it's inexpensive. They do their own thing, then they clean up afterwards, and they have a great time. If you come here, you'll hear them singing, they're dancing sometimes. The kids are running around, they're playing baseball with their parents, or throwing the football around, flying kites. And there's just so many, just a wide variety of activities that takes place here. And if they do it, this redevelopment, they're going to change this whole dynamic. There's going to be limitations. And, just for like where we're standing, if they make this a concrete boardwalk, how long could you stand in the sun on a hot blazing day with the reflection of the sun and the heat coming off the concrete here? So that's another reason.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. So, we all just went through this big hurricane, Ian, right?
Yes.
Well, you noticed Sanibel Island, in between those small islands, they just removed all of these trees right before that. Now, I was sitting here thinking myself, for my own opinion right now, that as you were speaking about the trees, I was thinking, well, maybe if they wouldn't have removed all those trees, because I used to go down there to, especially during the week when nobody's around, you could just put your float out there. But they removed all the trees and our bridge got washed out. Does that think maybe because they moved those trees, and maybe if they would have had their way and they moved these trees, it would have damaged our area right here even more? Do you think that might be possible?
I would say that there would have been further damage here, because these are well-established trees with a really interlocking, strong root system, and they stand as one, just like the ones did over on the causeway over there. And I truly think had they left them trees there with their interlocking root system, I don't think they would have had the erosion, and I think everything would have stood and would have held strong because of these trees here. That's what they were brought here for in the first place, is to control beach or shore erosion and that.
Well, there's a real known thing that trees actually have their own network in the ground to where they actually communicate with each other and the animals that are around. So they can communicate when a storm's coming in. They tend to put their roots down further into the ground. These are just things that I happen to know about trees. Because technically, even though I'm a Republican, I am a tree hugger. So I'm going to hug as many trees as I can because they give me oxygen. So what I'm thinking, and what I've learned from you today, is that it doesn't matter where these trees have come from. They've been here long enough, more than 50 years. We're talking hundreds of years. And they're protecting us from hurricanes. So my thought is maybe it's just the money that our city council wants from other things, because they're trying to, I don't know, because Cape Coral Mall, see, Cape Coral Point, that's actually a mall. And I know that because I'm from here. So to lower our taxes in this area with what they want to do to put these new businesses, they can open up other shops that we have here. Maybe that's a conversation we all need to have, and it shouldn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or whatever.
Well, she and I are both Republicans, but we made this cause is bipartisan. We have Democrats, we have Democrats and Republicans together, and we agreed to keep the politics out.
Yeah.
And it's a bipartisan movement, and we're all working together, to keep the park as it is, and to keep it as an enjoyable place for their friends, their families, their visitors, the snowbirds, for everyone. We get people from all over. We've met people from Canada, from Germany, from Italy, the UK, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Haiti.
See, that's my point. There's not everything in this world is there a disagreement on. We have to start finding better things, like our environment is one thing for all of us. You guys have children, grandchildren, and all that stuff.
We all invaded Florida after we retired from all different places. Just like the trees.
Exactly. So, and I think this is a good point. That's the only reason why I brought up being a Republican, because most people think that I wouldn't want my environment to have beautiful trees or plant more plants, or maybe my thought and I'm just going to throw this out here, but maybe if they're going to start putting some more trees around here, maybe it should be some trees like mango trees, avocado trees, and maybe that fruit could be used to help some of the needy around here that need some help, because I'm sure that every older person that I've ever met in this area, both of my grandparents were Democrats, Jewish Democrats. And I know that their friends would also care, and that they would also, why not have fruit trees? Something we can give back into our own community.
And we can have form a organization that would take care of them. I have several fruit trees on my property, and what I do is I pick the fruit, take what I can eat, share with my friends and family and neighbors.
Yeah.
What I have left over is I donate, to the food pantries, and then I also clean up after myself so we don't have any sort of animal problem, and we take care of the trees. And there's a lot of people that come to the park and they take care of, the smaller trees here. They
pick up the trash.
They pick up the trash, and what happens, we feel the city's kind of been neglecting this park so that they can end up, redeveloping to make it, look how bad this park is. Well, we would like to have some enhancements here. we would like to maybe add a variety of trees and maybe some nature on the west end of the park. Maybe they can put like a veterans memorial or first responder memorial, or they were talking about a splash pad. That would be fine for the kids, and maybe add something to the kids park here, and just make it family oriented here. Which there's so many families that do come here and enjoy the park. They're playing in the park, and by the way, it was the citizens of all these condo associations that chipped in that actually bought the park equipment, and then the city came and installed it.
The Beach Parkway Peninsula Association bought the riprap here along the shoreline. The city installed it. They bought the little gazebo. They paid for that. The city installed it. We bought the playground equipment. The city installed it. And we paid for the last time those walkways, those connecting walkways in the middle, were repaved. The city did the work. So we've been very active. Exactly.
All right, so we just finished up talking to Kathy and Tony, and we are going to be coming back down here next Saturday at 11 a.m. to talk to some other people. They are going to gather so we can have more opinions on this situation going down here at Jaycee Park in Cape Coral, Florida. Until then, you guys have a wonderful day.